Hello, everyone. This is Ian Schreier, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Information at Adelphi University and a member of the CoSIDA Academic All-America New Media Committee, and it is my esteemed pleasure to be joined by the 2021-2022 CoSIDA Academic All-America Team Member of the Year for Division III in the sport of men's basketball, a senior forward from Illinois Wesleyan University, Matt Leritz. Matt, first off, congratulations on the award. We're going to get into the postseason ride that you and your team just endured. But when you heard that you received this honor, that you were one of all Division III men's basketball players in the country to receive this prestigious honor, what did it mean to you?
It's a great honor. This is something, not necessarily this award, but succeeding on both the basketball court and in the classroom has really been a goal of mine. Since I stepped on campus as a freshman. And to have all the long hours, all the hard work, late nights in the gym and in the library, to be recognized on a national level is really a great honor.
Let's the fact that you spoke already right off the bat just about the balance and being able to find that perfect medium between being an outstanding basketball player as well as a great student. You're a 3.96 GPA student in finance. You're getting set to walk this May with your degree in that course of study. How have you found, and to kind of segue from the way you responded, how have you found that perfect balance between academics and athletics in your undergraduate career?
To be completely honest, I don't know if I ever really found the right balance. As cliche as it may sound, I just try to work hard at everything that I do, give it my all, study as hard as I can for whatever test or project I have. And same way with basketball, prepare as much as you can, get up as many shots in the off season, lift as much as I can, and hopefully the results will follow. And so that is essentially my mindset, just work as hard as I can and hope for good results to follow.
Is there, and you had mentioned about studying and preparing, have you found there to be one thing that maybe you do on the basketball court that carries over into the way you study or vice versa in terms of helping you excel the way you have?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious, and preparation for a basketball game or preparation for a test, I have a very meticulous approach to everything I do in those two regards. So whether it's scouting an opponent in basketball or studying for a financial derivatives test, I typically have the same approach.
Financial derivatives. We'll have to get into a conversation about that after this one.
I'm not really sure if I could hold much of a conversation about that.
Let's talk a little bit about your 4 years now on the floor, Matt. And as a co-captain this past year, your team went 24-6. The team won the most games it ever has since the 2013-14 season, ranked as high as number 7 in the NABC Top 25 poll. The team reached the Elite Eight until you lost yesterday, unfortunately. But when you look back on it, obviously it's going to take a little time maybe to shake off the loss. But at the same time, you compete. You have such a historic season with your teammates, right? So what was that ride like for you, and especially the opportunity in the NCAA tournament for you to play all 4 games on your home floor?
Obviously you touched on it. The loss still stings, still hurts very deeply right now. But if you look past our loss last night and take a step back and really look at what we were able to accomplish this year and the great season that we had, there's no doubt in my mind that this season is considered can be considered a massive success. We were ranked as high as number 2 in the country at some points. We were able to win one of the most competitive conferences in Division III. It was just an amazing ride. I play with a bunch of great guys. I play for a number of just great men and coaches. And unfortunately, it didn't end with us going to the Final Four or hoisting up a national championship trophy like we all hoped. But that's basketball. And then, as you asked, the opportunity to play on our home floor for all 4 games was just awesome. We have a great fan base, and they really showed out to support the last 2 weekends. And also, it's always fun playing at home, and being able to walk off the court last night and just be the last one in the gym. Take one last look at the rafters and the baskets before the lights got turned off was a special moment for me just because I've spent so much time, shed so much blood, sweat, and tears in that place. So it was really special.
Was there something, not to compare one season to another, just because this ultimately was so special, but to piggyback on that, was there something about, was it just about the seniors coming together? Was there something, what was it about this year that made, you mentioned it yourself, number 2 in the country, the Elite Eight, just a step short of the Final Four, aspirations of lifting that championship? What made this year different from the rest?
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there. Would you be able to repeat that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So you had mentioned about the success that the program had and number 2 in the country, the Elite Eight, a step short of the Final Four, having, just coming short of having that opportunity of hoisting that national championship trophy. And you never want to look at one season as compared to the ones that came beforehand. But Matt, in your eyes, I mean, was it just that the seniors came together? What made this year so special? In comparison to all 4 years that you've played at Illinois Wesleyan to this point?
Well, every year has been very special and very unique in its own way. And every year, every team is very different. But this team was very close from top to bottom. It was just an absolutely amazing group of guys to be able to suit up with on a daily basis. Our program really has a very unique, healthy, fantastic culture. And I really think that's what made this team so special. It also helps that I get to be co-captains with 2 of my best friends. So that makes the job a little bit easier. But all around, just a great group of guys to play with. They make it fun. They make it easy.
Now, Matt, you're originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and Illinois Wesleyan is located more in the southern region of Illinois in Bloomington. And before we jumped on this interview, I had asked you, and I would love for you to elaborate for us again, that I've always been told that when you're in that part of Illinois, that it's a little more Cardinal country than it is Cub country. Do you agree with that or no?
I'd say it's split right down the middle. The town is definitely polarized on that issue because it is right in the middle of Chicago and St. Louis. There's a fair share of both Cardinals and Cubs fans. So there's a lot of butting heads in that regard. There's a lot of crosstown rivalry. But yeah, being a Cardinals fan is tough on campus. At Wesleyan, it's mostly White Sox fans and Cubs fans down from Chicago. And there's not a whole lot of St. Louis guys. So I'm kind of on my own down here.
Do you survive okay though?
Yeah, I do all right. Well, the Cardinals are typically better than the Cubs and White Sox, so I usually don't have to sweat it.
That being said, Matt, my secondary but more primary question to you related to that topic is, what made you feel 4 years later still that Illinois Wesleyan was the perfect institution for you?
Wow. Well, if I put myself back in my shoes as a senior in high school, 18 years old, when I was going through the whole recruiting process, what jumped out the most to me was the coaching staff at Wesleyan. Coach Rose and Coach Etheridge recruited me really hard. And what jumped off the bat the moment I met them, they just seemed genuine down-to-earth human beings that really cared about their players. And that couldn't be more true. I've realized that over the past 4 years. But, basketball aside, Wesleyan has a great academic reputation throughout the Midwest. It's a great location, located right between St. Louis and Chicago, only a 2.5-hour drive from home. Great athletic facilities, great campus life. It's located in a great town. So essentially just checked all the boxes for me.
Now, in your time, just to shout off a few of your accomplishments so far in your time at Wesleyan, Matt, you were a D3 Hoops second-team All-American last year, a first-team and soon-to-be now two-time first-team CoSIDA Academic All-American. This year, you were named to the Small College Basketball's Top 100 Players Watch List and are now a finalist for this incredible Jostens Trophy, which is presented to the top Division III men's basketball player in the country. So to ask you, just to, what have been the keys to individually, at least, what have been the keys to your success in your time at Wesleyan?
Listening to what my coaches tell me to do, and getting shots up, lifting weights in the off season. That's really what it comes down to. My coaches and teammates have really made it easy for me to succeed. and I know I've gotten a lot of recognition, even nationally this year. But I play with a great group of teammates. I play on the low block for the most part. So they got to throw me the ball. It's not like I'm the guy dribbling the ball up the court. So they're the ones that always have to pass it to me. So I give a shout out to all my guards for that. But yeah, I mean, it's all a great honor. But as cliche as it sounds, none of it would be possible if I didn't have the teammates and coaches that I had. They make it easy on me.
Now, as a big guy, Matt, you have to have a mid-range game at least, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Matt, we all say that we all have to get our start somewhere for, whether it be from our parents or whoever it might be. But who do you find crediting those values to that? You spoke so much about working hard and putting in 110%. Who do you credit with instilling those values? Who are your role models?
I would say my father. Excuse me. I don't know if there's a single person in the world that works as hard as he does to do what he can for our family, whether it's waking up on a Saturday morning and going back to his office, going back to his desk, logging hours on his computer, just doing whatever he can. He has a tireless work ethic, never seems to complain, and always seems eager to perform at his best. And I think that's where I get my inspiration to prepare the way I do, whether it be in school or for basketball, just being able to watch my dad and the way he conducts himself on a daily basis, and how hard he works and how much effort he puts into everything he does.
As you look back on your time now at Wesleyan, Matt, obviously still have a few more months to go, but any favorite memories in your mind or specific memory? I mean, obviously it could just be the season that you had, but any one specific memory that will stick with you even as you get ready to graduate from Illinois Wesleyan in May?
I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's been an incredible 4 years, filled with great memories, great wins and great moments. But I'd say the one that sticks out to me the most was when we got to go up to New York City this year and play at Yeshiva. At that point in time, Yeshiva was ranked number 1 in the country. I think we were ranked number 4. There was a lot of build up to that game for a Division III basketball game. And there was just this excitement and energy in the gym that I've never seen before. I played in a lot of big games here at Wesleyan, a lot of big games in high school, but there was just nothing that compared to that environment. So I'd say that is probably my favorite memory.
And as a native New Yorker, I definitely have to appreciate that as well. You have the opportunity to go play Yeshiva up in Washington Heights. Matt, lastly, as you get ready to graduate from Wesleyan, once you decide that basketball is over for you, what are those ultimate post-grad plans now as you graduate with your degree in finance?
Well, I'm still kind of trying to figure that out for myself right now. But at this point in time, I plan to get into the fields of either asset management or management consulting. However, that's all subject to change, and it's really all to be determined.
Well, Matt, I wish you all the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Just such a bright future ahead of you, and thank you for taking some time with us here today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on.